G'day, Spice Legends. Welcome to Burner Bites Down Under, the hottest show down under. Look, guys, today we are going to be joined by Jared F.J. Smith. You might know him as Jared L.Smith, a.k.a. Farmer J, a.k.a. the Alpha, the Omega, a.k.a. the King of the Gummy Bears, or a.k.a. the Vice President of Sons of Fire, the crazy, awesome, what's it called, CHILLI gang out there. You might say they're a bit like a bikie gang. Got all the leather vests there. Loving the patches, Spice Legends. So let's get old Jared on. Say good old when he jumps on. G'day, Jared. How you doing, legend?
Hey, what's going on, Phil? How you doing tonight, brother?
Oh, awesome, legend. Awesome. We're it's a bit wet here in Australia, mate. What's the weather like there over in the US, mate?
A little bit. We're coming into spring, so lots and lots of rain, a little bit warmer temperatures, starting to sweat a little bit. You know, us fat guys are getting hot and sweaty, and just trying to bring the flowers and back our planting season.
So hot and sweaty, palms are sweaty, mum's spaghetti. He's nervous.
It's on my sweater already.
Got his sweater already. I like that. Nice, mate. And so, like I said, I just sort of gave you a little bit of an intro. How everyone sort of knows you a bit of it as Farmer J. You got the Alpha Omega sources, King of the Gummy Bears as well. And obviously, as you can see on the vest there, you got the you're the Vice President of the Sons of Fire. Do you want to just sort of introduce yourself to the people, the small, minute people that don't know who you are? And tell us who you are and what you do, mate.
I'm Jared Smith. I go by Farmer J. A lot of people just call me FJ. If you're anywhere inside the pepper community, anywhere, I try to be everywhere, if that makes sense. I love it so much that I've completely engrossed my entire life in the chili community and in doing stuff with peppers.
You just got a bit of chili omnipotence, have you? It's everywhere at once.
Yeah. It's everywhere, and it's it's constantly all day long. You know, I try to be active and try to talk to people and help people out the best I can. And I've engrossed my life into it so much that I've dragged my wife with me. So now she's into it and she's helping me bottle sauces and do this and that. And be honest with you, half the guys that I talk to on a daily basis, she already knows them by name. Because I talk about all of y'all so much.
Wow. We've got Shahina in the house. We've got Giovanni, Carl the Scoville Slayer, Julie Rose, Giovanni. Mate, we've got a few watching it now at the moment. Bit of chili love. And so it's been interesting. It's actually 11 a.m. here in Australia. What time is it over there, mate, in the US where you are?
Just past 7 o'clock and on where I'm at.
Gotta love that 18-hour difference, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of makes things difficult for me and you even getting this set up because such a big time difference. I mean, it's Tuesday there, so if you'll call me with the lottery numbers for over here, I'd really appreciate it.
Well, we're just time travelers, mate. Time travelers down under.
There you go.
And I've seen that you guys had a really wild winter. You survived it somehow. Texas got stuck in the freezer for a bit, and then. What's his face went to Cancun. It's like, catch you guys later. I'll be back soon. Like, it's just you've had a crazy winter there, haven't you? Had a bit of a time.
Yeah, crazy winter. We had a jet stream come in February, and it just dipped down. And first they brought ice, and then it brought us a whole bunch of snow. We had -degree temperatures in Texas. They were having to alternate the power grids and the substations, and putting neighborhoods in complete blackouts because they could not handle the overloads on all the power units because we're just not used to that. Canada is, so all their homes are very insulated and built for those things. Where here in the South, our homes are not built for that. They're built to be cool. I have a metal roof on my house as it is. And so my house is just built to be cooler, because of our hot summers. So when we got into the negative temperatures, and we got all that snow. I didn't go to work for 9 days.
Wow.
Okay. And, people in Canada, they're like, oh, a foot of snow, no problem. Down here, we get a foot of snow. It's complete gridlock everywhere. Because, there's a couple things. We don't know how to drive on it. We don't know how to live in it. Nothing. I remember a couple of days, it was like 5 degrees and the mail would come And I'm like, no, I'm good. It can stay.
Because that's Texas and all the southern states there, they're not really known for snow at all. You see snow, you're going, what the hell is happening? Like you said with Canada's like, oh, more snow, eh?
Yeah. Well, nine times out of 10, if it snows here, the flurries will start, and as soon as it hits the pavement, they're gone. They just completely melt right then.
Yeah.
And so we're not used to that. And so this winter was very, very harsh for us.
Far out, mate. All right, buddy. Well, look, we've also got a bit of an assortment of sauces there. It's a bit of a walk to your place from mine, so obviously can't be there and do them with you. So what sauces you got to play with, or what chili products have you got in your lineup, mate?
Well, I brought along some of Henry's hot sauce, Candy Naga peanuts. I also brought along Naturally North, that's Stephen J. Hood, some of his jelly and jams. James Jackson, some of his capsaicin candies.
Nice.
One of my favorite sauces, this is going to be the Smokin' Sriracha from Pucker Butt. A lot of y'all might know that label right there.
Oh, yeah. We know Pucker Butt.
Oh, yeah. Another one from Stephen Hood. This is his Screaming Beaver.
Yum.
Jim
Munhall. Be worried if your beaver's screaming, but then again, if you get chili on you, the ladies, your beaver might be screaming.
Yeah. Whoa. We got the Jim Munhall, Cluckin' Hot. Randy Carollo's Apple Pie Tincture.
Ooh, yum.
Yeah, apple pie, and it tastes just like it.
It's like
this is my.
Hey, what's it like? It's like warm apple pie. Like that's some really warm apple pie.
Yeah, I got the. This is my favorite Verde. This is the Premonition from Troy Primo.
Yeah. I think we're gonna get Troy on the show soon too. Actually, yeah.
Oh, now
Troy. He's cool. He's a cool dude.
Legend right there. Johnny Hexberg, OCD. This is one of my favorite meat sauces. I also brought along with this is Heiko's. Everybody knows old Heiko.
Oh yeah.
His Pumpkin Pyro 2.0. And David Lachosa's. I got this Carolina Madness right here. He's a good guy. I also brought along some challenges we're going to talk about too, if you don't mind.
Yep.
But
definitely 100%. 100% want to talk about. That's one of the things I'm going to mention and bring up anyway. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get down to it, buddy. So are you going to just raw dog it in it straight, or are you going to whack these things or something?
One more time. I'm sorry, I didn't catch you there.
Are you going to raw dog them and just eat them straight, or are you going to chuck these things on something?
No, we're going to eat them straight.
You're going to eat it straight?
Yeah, definitely straight. If anybody knows me, I don't do anything halfway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow. I don't know if some of y'all have seen this. This is the Rummy Bears Endurance Challenge.
Ooh.
Yeah, have y'all heard about that yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to borrow its fancy spoon that comes along with it, and I'm going to try these sauces.
That's a sexy spoon.
And this isn't, hey, guys, this isn't no cheap plastic. This is like
metal.
This is metal, like hard metal. So I'm going to borrow it.
I need one of those. That looks legit. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
The only thing that looks more legit is those vests, mate. I really want me one of those. All I've got is just this one here, but mate, I would love to get my hands on one of those vests. They look absolutely sexy. Hey.
The vests are very important to us. The vest is something we'll bring in junior members, okay, and other members from the community, and the vests represent people that have gone above and beyond in the chili community. So, over time, it's something that's definitely earned. And, a lot of people always ask how to join Sons of Fire. And at first, we didn't exactly know what we were going to do. We just kind of opened the doors and let a bunch of people in. And, through deciding and filtering and weeding, we've decided that we're going to offer the invites. We're gonna watch the community and just kind of scan over the community and pull people a little bit at a time. And we felt that was the best way to go.
Yeah, fair cool, mate. All right, buddy. Well, we're ready to go. We'll start our first one. So what's your first sauce you got there, mate, or your first product? I'm
gonna jump in with a tink from Randy Carollo. This is apple pie, and it's made just like you would assume.
Yeah, with health.
And I don't ever do what?
I got this one here. It's by Chili Sweet. It's called Salubrious Pork. It's like it tastes and smells like smoky pork. It's like ridiculous good. So tasty.
Nice.
And so I was a bit pushed for time today, so I got some slices of pizza that I'm eating with my food. Because I usually eat with I cut some little bits of pieces up and whack it on that. Because you usually have like chicken wings, a bit of steak or something like that, just to mix it up and make it a bit more interesting. Because I just thought like you see hot ones and that, and they always just do wings. And I'm like, well, why just be doing one kind of food, one kind of thing? So I thought just mix it up and thought today pizza. Let's see how pizza goes on these hot sauces. It'd be really awesome. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
all right,
cheers.
Awesome. Cheers, mate. All right, well, so I'll ask you the first question, and then we'll eat. Okay, ready? So the first one I want to ask you is like, which came first, your farming or your chili obsession? All right. Cheers.
Cheers. So a lot of people ask me that, and what came first was the farming. My wife and I always had a garden every year, and we always grew several different items. And I wanted to get into some ghost peppers, and she allowed me to order seeds because she's the boss. And I could not germinate them, so I looked to the pepper community to learn how to germinate them. And so I learned how to germinate those. Those seeds were ruined, and I found a vendor, Jimmy Pickles, and ordered some seeds from him. And if y'all know Jimmy Pickles, he sends you free stuff every time you order something. So by the time it was all said and done, I had like 17 varieties. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just go all about it. Our first year, we had 77 varieties in our garden of different peppers.
Wow. That's crazy, dude. So
yeah,
it sounds like you didn't just hit the ground running, you hit the ground with a rocket launcher on your back or something like that. It's just crazy that you just sort of exploded like that. What do you think contributes to your success in having so many varieties and so much so quickly?
And so in the first year, it was so hard because I was learning how to grow chilies, the different viruses that are susceptible, the pest issues you were having, because chili pest issues and other pest issues are they're the same, but they're a little bit different as well. So we had to learn all that, and it was a complete crash course. I couldn't tell you how excited I was to first get my first ripe chili. And man, it was just such an awesome feeling. And then you got your garden and you want to try these things, but you know they're evil and they'll kill you.
Well, that was sort of like when I was walking around L.Smith's place. L.Smith is one of the chili legends here in the Australian community, and he's quite well renowned. I think they sort of they nicknamed him the Podfather of Australia. And he's got so much dangerous stuff walking around. And he's like, and try this, and you're going, ooh, like these are going to do some damage. There's some great flavors and some great tastes, and like I really actually thank him again for introducing me to they're called Roccos or Roccocos, big juicy peppers, and they're not really hot, but it's like eating an apple. They're as big as an apple, and they're really juicy. And I'm going, wow, like some chilies you just don't have the greatest flavor. They've got some heat, but this one was like really juicy and like fruity, and I'm going, oh. It was like eating like a hot apple, and I was like, "Dude, this is legit," And certainly told me a few things as well. It's just so much to learn. That's what I was saying, which is amazing about the chili community. And once you get engross yourself in it, like you've done, I'm sure you just must have learned books and books and books of knowledge. Hey, yeah. And so look, the other thing I want to ask you is like, why did you moved from Sweet Home Alabama, mate? What was the story with that? Like, why did you move from there, mate? Everyone keeps telling me how amazing it is. You moved away from paradise. What happened?
Yeah, well, I was born in Alabama, and I moved down to Florida when I was 5. And actually, I was raised there until some issues arose, and I had to move in with my dad. And so I moved back to Alabama in with my dad, and I lived with him until I was 18, and then I moved back to Florida because that's where all my friends were. And finally I moved to Arkansas to try to settle down and get away from a life that I should not have been living. So I was kind of back and forth and a little bit everywhere for a second, but I moved to Arkansas in 2001.
Yeah. So just remind everyone. So it's spelled Arkansas, but it's pronounced Arkansas. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And then you told me this little tidbit before we started. What's the spelling of the letters? There's the letters of the state. People get confused with again. It's like Arizona.
Yeah. So when you address an envelope, a lot of the state abbreviation is AR. So we'll get phone calls and they'll be like, "Oh, you're in Searcy, Arizona," and you're like, "No, that's Arkansas," because Arizona is AZ. But yeah, they get us constantly confused.
And you're just like, bloody yeah, outsiders.
Yeah.
So there you go, all
exactly.
Australians. If you're mailing over to America, AZ for Arizona and AR for Arkansas. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
All right,
and
mate.
See,
yeah. What were you saying?
Oh, you're fine. I had just a little bit of lag for a second, Phil. You're good.
That's right. We're a bit of a walk away from each other, so we're going to have a bit of lag, guys. We do apologize for that. So let's get on to the next one, mate.
No worries.
Next sauce here. Gorgeous Sauce's Smoky Jerk Sauce from Perth.
Is that a beer day?
No, I don't think so. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like, imagine if barbecue sauce and taco sauce had a baby and it's smoky. That's what it is. It's ridiculous.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's so good. I can drink this stuff. I love it. I keep finding more excuses to put it on more stuff. Yeah. Try it out.
Well, I'm going to go with Detroit Primo Premonition.
Nice. All right. Well, before I eat it, mate, I want to ask you this question. Look, you're a truck driver, a former frack hand, also a Nickelback fan, and also involved in Land of the Frost. Tell us a bit about those things, mate, in those parts of your life. So cheers, buddy. We'll eat this one, and then you tell us. Yep.
I'm sorry, Phil. I heard the cheers, but what was the intro question again? Oh, it's a good sauce.
All right. You're a truck driver, former frack hand, and Nickelback fan. And then you were also involved in the Land of the Frost as well, mate. Tell us a bit about these little areas of your life.
Okay, so my passion was working in the oil field. I worked on a frack crew, and my job was to put all the chemicals in the ground during the hydraulic stimulation. And what we would do is after that, we'd flow it back and it'd free flow the natural gas out of the ground. And I absolutely adored it, but I was gone all the time. And, my wife and I, we got married. I wanted to stay home and kind of close to home. And I found a local truck driving job. And I'm supposed to be home every night, but sometimes it doesn't work out like that because I run regional. So I have a contract. I run over to Tennessee 4 or 5 days a week, and then I do some odd stuff on the other days, kind of locally, where I can get home most nights, but sometimes I do have to stay out overnight. And it just works out better.
Because you think truck driver, you don't really think home all the time, which is an odd thing. But then what you were doing fracking before, like we have lots of mining jobs in Australia too, and I'm guessing it was like a fly out kind of deal. And I'm sure that just never home as well. So yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and so for the layperson with fracking, sort of explain to everyone what fracking is. So that some of us don't know what that is, or how that works. What is fracking?
So hydraulic fracking is deep well stimulation. So basically, when we drill a hole in the ground and we get to the gas pocket, we want to send sand at very, very high pressure, and we want to open up all that as big as we can to get as much gas as we can out at one time. So we'll drill the well, then put the casing in, and then we'll put water and sand in together and just push it down just as hard as we can with big pumps. Okay, and it breaks open the ground. And then a crew will come in and flow back all that water and sand back out. And once all that water and sand is back out, it allows the gas to pressurize and come out.
Sorry. He just said if we put on glasses, we look like twins.
There we go. twinning. Yeah, you know what?
Twinsies.
If my beard was a little bit fuller right here, Phil, I think Jeff's right.
Do you ever get called Jack Black as well?
No, I don't get called Jack Black.
Everyone, everywhere I go, people go, "Hey, it's Jack Black," and I'm like, "Oh, fuck, $5 order." And it just seriously, yeah, it's crazy. But look, one thing I saw a post that you had up there. It said you're actually a bit of a Nickelback fan, mate. It's funny, Nickelback's such a divisive band, and not many people have the balls or the guts to go, "Yeah, listen, hand to heart, I'm a Nickelback fan. Fuck you." Like, I love that you had that on the page. That was really cool.
You're either
what I want to share is I'm a Nickelback fan too. Me too. So
all right, so we all have these guilty pleasures, Phil. Okay, you're driving in your car and the radio jam comes on, and it's Britney Spears, and you're like, "Oh, hit me, baby, one more time." And you're just driving by yourself and you don't care, dude. And Nickelback is like one of those bands that you crank up, you're like, "Yeah, photograph," and you're just driving and you're singing along. And some people want to admit it and some people don't. We all have those guilty pleasures that everybody's going to make fun of, and it doesn't matter. It's all about being, an individual and having your own personality.
Right.
Yeah, I jam Britney Spears. Shoot, yeah, I do. I listen to Nickelback, yeah. But I also listen to other bands like, Tool and Nirvana and stuff like that. But yeah, we're gonna have those guilty pleasures.
I will admit that I've got a pretty diverse taste in music. It starts to go some boppy stuff to then, metal and whatever like that. So my taste in music's so full on and wide. It's just massive. But it's funny. It just sort of reminds me of I saw this quick little video as like a Vine, and there's all these black dudes, and they're playing that song that goes, what's it called? The Barbie. He's playing the Barbie song. And he's going, how's the lyrics to the Barbie go? Goes, it's like, and I think it was also did again. And then see these white guys going, "Oh," and then they go, "Oh shit!" Quickly change it. This song's going, "Nigga, nigga, 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 nigga," and they're like, back to rap. Like I was like, wow. And it's just so funny. I'm just like, yeah, that's kind of like that. You see these big guys like, "Hit me, baby, one more time." They,
yeah, exactly. and then you roll the window down and you got the Tool playing or the death metal, and you're like, "Yeah, I was totally like, jamming that the whole time."
You saw nothing. You saw nothing. It didn't happen.
You saw nothing, exactly.
And so, tell us a little bit of this Land of Frosting. I'm curious about this Land of Frost. Tell us more about that, mate.
Land of Frost is
Giovanni. Ooh, you touch my tra-la-la. My ding ding dong.
There you go. Land of Frost. I had a really bad accident in Dallas, Texas, and I want to say it was 2016. I had a tractor trailer accident in Dallas, Texas. And I was driving down the interstate on I-30 eastbound, and I came over an overpass, and on the other side of the overpass, all the traffic was stopped. Okay, and it was raining, and I may have been driving a little bit faster than I should have. I was running like 60. But once I topped the hill, I had the option to slam on my brakes, jackknife the tractor trailer into the median, or take out the cars and kill innocent people. So I chose to take the median, okay, of course. And I they say when you get into an accident, time slows down, and it really does. And I was able to gear down a couple times and slow it down enough and aim it at the right spot where I didn't hurt anybody. And once I slid sideways, jackknifed it, my trailer went across the road, and I got T-boned by another semi, which it was my trailer. It didn't hurt me or that driver, thank God. Well, after that, it really scared me. And I'll be honest with you, it scared me. And I decided to jump out of the truck and go work at a meat packaging factory. And that's what Land of Frost is. We made lunch meat.
Wow. Well, that's a pretty good story. It's just amazing how some of those things put things in perspective. And so, look, something I want to say about that as well. Like, I totally agree that the slow motion thing. I've been in an accident too, and I remember aquaplaning because it was semi-cyclonic conditions with 10 millimeters of water on the road, and I going slow mo, going no, and looked at my friend, and he's looking at me like, "What are you looking at me for? Like look at the road. But yeah, it was just really slow-mo. But like what I want to say out and what I want to come out of that story just told me is it sounds like you need to give trucks a bit more space. Be wary, try and see where the mirrors. If you can't see the mirrors, then you can't see them, right? You know?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Because
my biggest pet peeve, Phil, is when you're driving behind a semi or a truck and it's raining. If you don't have your headlights on, we can't see y'all at all because the mist that our tires are kicking up, it's a gray cloud. So if you have a gray vehicle or a black vehicle, you get lost in that. And if we have to change lanes pretty quickly, you're not going to be seen.
Yeah. And so that being said, like everyone has got to sort of understand that the average car is about 1 ton to 2 tons. Whereas what's the average truck weight? What is it, like 30 to 40, 60 plus tons?
A fully loaded truck is 80,000 pounds, which is 40 tons.
There you go, 40 tons. You know, so that's what, nearly 40 times like more weight than any average car. So there you think, okay, well then it takes nearly 40 times the amount to slow down, to slide and whatever like that. So it's like a lot more effort to slow that momentum down. So just be wary out there, guys, when you're driving around trucks, you know, make sure they see you. But secondly, just give them more space, you know, brake a bit more generously, like in front of them. Don't just smash your brakes on and go, oh, fucking good luck, mate, behind you, you know, because then it's on the truckie, that poor person's got to go home and they've got to try and stop and slow down before they hit your dumb ass, you know. So just make sure that, yeah, if it's raining, like you said, have your headlights on. It's obviously the law anyway. But just give them space because, like, obviously guys like Jared here, they want to go home to their kids and they don't want to have the guilt of wrecking people and themselves, you know. So just give as much space as you can. It's fair, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not something any truck driver wants to live with, taking,
that's right,
you know, a family's life, because you don't know what's in that vehicle. You don't know if there's a toddler or a baby or, you know, a grandmother or grandfather. Everybody has a family, and
that's
there's
right.
just no sense in it.
That's right. So truckies are people too. So just make sure they're safe and then you're safe from them as well, because, you know, nobody wants that, you know. So just give them that extra space. Don't be a little bit arrogant, you know. Just give them that extra space. That way everyone gets to go home safe. Yeah, that's cool. No more PSAs. That's it. I'm sorry. That was random. That was random. You're like, what the fuck? You're like, whoa, a bit serious now. All right, mate. Well, let's go to the next one. The next one I got here is Raspberry 100 from Fireland Gourmet Chilies. They're from Logan. It's right near Brisbane, Queensland. And this one's amazing.
Nice.
This one, it was only supposed to be 100 bottles made, but he done so well. He's made like thousands of them now. It's so good. And dude, this guy also, you're saying that you're at a meat place, right? This guy is a meat wizard. Like, he's got 30-hour smoked brisket and pork belly in that, and it's just the most ridiculous meat ever. He's ruined me for all other meat. All other meats taste terrible compared to his meat now. What do you got there, buddy?
This is going to be Naturally North. This is made by Stephen Hood, and this is his piping hotter peach pepper jelly. And I don't know if most of y'all know Stephen Hood. He's up there, our friends in the Great White North. And I just got to try his stuff recently. He makes a mustard that is totally lush. And he also had another hot sauce that I finished in 2 days. And just a very talented man.
Nice. All right. Well, look, the next question I want to ask you is, like, where did this Sons of Fire vest idea come from? And tell us a little bit about your prepping secrets, because you just seem to laugh it off during the challenges, mate. So we'll eat this one and you tell us about your secrets, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Hoodie, that is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, so when Dave Doran, our president of Sons of Fire, he came to me, and there was four people. His best friend, his wife, and then him, and they had an idea, and they wanted to make a global chili club. All right, and so they come to me, and they're like, and they pitched me the idea, and I'm like, why isn't this a thing yet? You know, Dave told me, he said he wanted to create a brotherhood, a global chili club that, you know, bonded people closer together and doing the daily things that they love: burning, growing, making hot sauces, etc., and just make a brother and sisterhood. And I'm like, this is awesome. And I said, well, what about the community? He said, I want to support the community too. He says, if I see a need, I want to help as much as we can. You know, we can organize hot sauce things for charity. We can have a pepper eating contest, you know, raise money for different charities. And he just pitched me this idea, and I'm like, this should be a thing, definitely. So I did what I did earlier, you know, like we discussed. You know, I dove in head first. I didn't ask any questions any further than that. I'm like, yeah, this is it. We've got to do this. So Dave had this formula, and him and his wife Anna came up with this, and I'm just happy enough along to come aboard. You know, he invited me to come along.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like one thing I really liked about the best idea, this is the funny thing, was I was at a chili festival and I saw a whole bunch of bikies roll in, and they had all the patches, and I was just going, hey, now this is well before I knew who Sons of Fire existed. Right? I went, hey, imagine if you did a chili festival. And this is how I found out you guys have gone chili fest and gone Sons of Fire. Oh, son of a bitch, someone's already done it. And it was you guys. And I was like, it was legendary. And I was like, but I was like, yeah, you know, and I got no hate of that. I'm just like, wow, you know, somebody beat me to the punch, but you've done it well. You did it really well. And I go, I'm fair play.
You know,
those guys are awesome. Yeah.
When we first initially launched, we had a concept, and if you ever create something and put it out there and allow other people to join, it always takes on its own form. You're gonna deal with a mixing pot of all these cultures all around the world. And so we had a concept, we threw it out there, and now it's taken on its own form. And we're blessed with to have people all over the world. I can't remember how many countries we have right now, but I mean, just down there with you, we've got Clint Meyer over in New Zealand. Yeah, and then we got Bree, Ash, and he does his awesome November thing every November. So Ash, we got Cam, we got Mike Harrison. So, you know, we're blessed with these people all around the world, and it's taken on its own form. And now we just have a brotherhood and sisterhood that is, you know, helping out the community in different ways and trying to put more positive into the community. It's already filled with so many positive people, and we just want to do more, you know, add more positivity.
100%, which is really important. Like, it's so easy to get involved in the social drama or the social politics. There's plenty of it in every facet, and even in the chili community. But to focus on all the positives and sort of lift up and boost the chili community is definitely what we're about in Burnin Bites, and obviously you guys as well. So I really appreciate that you guys are trying to do that. I see that those are the kind of places that people want to be involved in, and obviously they're the ones that are benefiting the chili community as well. We need more people like you guys. Yeah. But look, the other thing I wanted to ask was your prepping secrets. What's your prepping secret, mate? I've seen some of your challenges that you've done out there, and you just seem to just laugh it off during the challenges. How do you do that? What's the secret?
Lots and lots of reading and asking people in the community what they do, and just kind of molding everything all together and just trying every single possible thing. Because guys, I don't have to tell you, once you spent a night on the bathroom floor in the fetal position, you don't want to do it again. So normally what I try to do is I've talked to Shin, and I've talked to different other people, and they're always told me, you know, lots of fats. Shin's prep is peanut butter sandwiches, and Dustin Johnson, he uses like a really heavy fatty meal. Okay, so I've learned a little trick. Okay, oils cut oil, capsaicin's an oil. So the more fatty stuff you can put in your stomach, the more oils. It's gonna really. I just read Jeff's comment. I'm sorry, Bill. So, but anyways, the more oils and stuff like that you have in your stomach, the easier the cat cramps are gonna be. Now, that doesn't get you out of the woods. Constant liquid and constant food afterwards. Normally you can catch it in time, but every time you feel those cramps coming on, go in there and drink you a glass of orange juice or a couple pieces of pineapple or something. Get something in your stomach and keep it going every 20 or 30 minutes. Reading these comments still, but every 20 or 30 minutes, just keep on putting stuff in your stomach, and that's the only way to alleviate them. Still, I ate 5 bags of Rummy Bears one night, and yeah, these little critters right here, and I ate 5 bags of those. It was 60 bears. I cramped for 11 hours, and it was absolutely terrible. And I swore I never do it again. And then all these people kept on trying to go for the record. I'm like, I messaged Dave. I'm like, I'm ordering 10 bags right now. Blah, blah, blah. And then I thought about it. I'm like, no, I'm not. Just put it in the club fund. I'm not doing that.
when you hit that absolute threshold where you are cramping up and you're in the shower or you're laying down, do you ever have that internal monologue with yourself where you go, well, here we are again. And you've got no one else to blame but yourself. You did this to yourself. Why are we doing this? Like, is there a reason why we're doing this? You know, and you just go, and then you go, and then the cramps go away. You go, oh, never mind. Like,
you know, I've thought about that 100 times. You know, you're in the middle of cramping, and I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna do a little plug for the old Agnes store real quick. All right, so this is the Moab collab, guys. The Moab collab, this is the challenge that hurt me most. So when they say point on the doll where the man hurts you, this is the doll, or this is where the man hurt me, the Moab collab. I ate that, and it wasn't bad then. But, guys, it was like 6 or 7 hours of cramp straight. I'm talking about hard cramp, and I couldn't get any relief from them. And I finally booted off my front porch at about 3 a.m., 4 a.m., something like that. And I was like, okay, I'm better now. And then I was like, no more challenges. I'm never doing any challenges again. And then the next weekend, you're like, hey, who wants to eat a tube of terror?
It's kind of like, isn't it, those moments where you have those really wild nights, you wake up the next day, you're so hungover, you're like, I'm never drinking again. And then that night you're drinking again. You're like, what's wrong with me? Like,
exactly.
Molly down.
Oh, man.
2 minutes. So tell us, how hot is that Moab bar? You were just talking to you, just showing us then. How hot is that?
The Moab, I would say it put me about a 6. It's a pretty warm challenge. Don't get it twisted. When it has Moab in the name, that you can throw that out the window, because if you've eaten a Moab before, it's only like a 2. On a chili head scale, I'll be honest with you. You know, a lot of people have eaten the Moab. It's like a 2. It's easy peasy. But what Steve and Michelle put in this with the Moab is Satan. That thing's hot.
Is there like a Scoville rating for it at all? Or?
One more time.
Is there like a Scoville rating for the heat as well, or?
Is there a Scoville? What it says 1/2 pound of danger. I don't know. Ooh. I know it says Reaper, Scorpion, and 20 other super hot peppers. This thing, guys, this thing is literally Satan. Wow. And that's saying something with when I've heard some of and seen some of the things that you've done. So yeah, was it brownies and Satan? Fair enough. Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Well, let's just start with the next one here, mate. This next sauce I've got here is hand smoked chipotle from a barbecue sauce from Guilty Sauces at Down a Barrel. I have to say, guys, I found something about on par with how good this is from Canberra. It's a golden sauce. I'm going to do a review for it very soon. It's a smoky barbecue sauce, Spice Legends. So check out that one very soon. Also, the other thing is you mentioned Atomic Menace, Dustin Johnson. We're going to have him on the show very soon. That's April 10th.
Nice.
April 10th. So check it out. I think it's midday. We're going to be on April 10th. So I think it's a Sunday here in Australia. And that's a Saturday. I think it's 4 or 6 p.m. there in America. So that's going to be pretty epic, Spice Legends. So look out for that one. Yeah. All right. What do you got there, buddy?
I'm going to go with Heiko's Pumpkin Pyro. This is the 2020 version. I just cracked this open. I have not got to try it yet, and I've been meaning to. So I thought this might be the first time, so you get to see my first initial reaction.
Virgin run. And I'm loving that spoon, man. I need to get one of those spoons. Yeah. Tomic on the show. But yeah.
You need to order a challenge.
I will. All right. So look, what the question I want to ask you, Matty, what's your first chili experience? And was it before or after loving the Chicago Bulls? Cheers, mate.
Oh, Heiko, I didn't think a pumpkin hot sauce could be good, but that's good.
Pumpkin does go well with a hot sauce, doesn't it? Like, it's surprising.
Man, that actually is very surprising. This says heat level wild. I'm getting a little bit of mouth water from it, but not bad. And that was a pretty big spoonful. That stuff's good. Heiko, wonderful sauce. First experience with chili. Are we talking about challenge wise or just eating?
Just full stop. Yeah.
All right. So middle school, we used to do pepper eating contests as far as like jalapenos and stuff, and I knew I liked spice then. And then when I first my first garden, I did the jalapenos, and then the Choco challenge came out, the world's hottest chocolate, and I talked the wife into let me get one of those. And I came home from church one Sunday, and we hadn't eaten lunch or anything. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna eat the Choco challenge. You know, I didn't think nothing about it. I like spicy stuff, so I ate this thing, and I do very well with it. You know, surprisingly, it only got me up to maybe a 7 or 8, whatever it might have been then. And that was my first experience with cap cramps, guys, because I ate the Choco challenge on an empty stomach, and it was a bad decision. And I laid in the bed with chili sweats for like 30 or 45 minutes, and it was terrible. And I thought something was wrong with me, and I was gonna die. So I got on my phone, and I'm Googling, why am I hurting after eating spicy, blah, 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 blah. And I find an article about capsaicin cramps, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to live. Thank God.
Is that sort of pushed you down the rabbit hole too, that first experience?
And I was hooked. And I'm talking about, on challenge stuff, I hit the ground running. And now I don't know how many challenges I've done now, I'll be honest with you, Phil. It's up there. But so I hit the ground running.
Do you remember your very first chili experience, like the very first spicy thing you ever ate in your life?
One more time, the hottest thing I've ever eaten in my life?
No, the first thing you ate in your life that was spicy. Do you remember the first time you had spicy food or something spicy?
I think the first time I had spicy, I went to the Chinese buffet, and they have the rooster sriracha sauce on the tables.
Oh yeah, and,
yeah. I hope, yeah, and that stuff's good. But guys, back then, that stuff would put my face in the dirt, and I'm just like, it's so good, but I can't stop. It's so hot.
It is. We were trying some of that stuff at Canberra just before with Reg's spices as well, and after not having it for quite a while and eating again with some more stuff and going, wow, like you forget how good some of the original mainstream stuff is as well. And it's a bit of a gateway drug, like I'm saying there. It's good. It gets you into the arena or the domain with all the other chili heads too.
Yeah, exactly. It's capsaicin is a gateway drug. And normally when I talk to people, most of the time it's like habaneros initially get them into it. You know, they're like, hey, I eat jalapenos, or I'll have a serrano. But once they grab that first habanero, that's like a gateway pepper, man. They're done for.
Pain is never glorious forever. I actually have a saying, what's it called? Similar to that one, Giovanni. I used to be an athlete. And so I used to have a saying in my head, which was fatigue is temporary, victory is forever. Or I'd also go pain is temporary, victory is forever as well. So it'd be like pit biff. So similar to that one, Giovanni. Yeah, I kept saying that in my head. You're getting like cramps in your ribs. You're trying to breathe. Your throat's burning up. You're sweating. You're like, I can't go any further. And you're just like Finish February, victory is forever. Finish January. He's just like saying it, and it sort of works. And I think when you say that to yourself in challenges, I'm sure that you must say something like that to yourself in the challenges there as well, mate. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's been situations Heathen Raider and it was his birthday and he was doing a big, huge fundraiser for NAMI. Okay. And he said, I'm going to eat the Nemesis. And I'm like, that's horrible. I hate the Nemesis, guys. Like, that's my Nemesis. I can't stand it. I tried it once. I got 4 pieces in and almost booted everywhere. So I stopped myself. And Heathen's like, will you eat the Nemesis with me for NAMI? And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I will. So
like, you bastard.
he buys me this beautiful mankini, and it's a zebra stripe mankini, and he's like, hey, we wear that. I'm like, you know what? Why not? Okay, so we're both in glorious mankinis. And it was bad. You can have Giovanni send you some pictures. It's rough. Oh, yeah. So I'm in a mankini, and I'm not a little guy. So there's a whole bunch of sexy overflowing everywhere out of this mankini. And I sit down and I take my vest off, and I've got this zebra stripe mankini growing across my shoulder, and I sit down to eat this Nemesis bar, which I knew I'd already been there once, but I was bound and determined to eat this for Heathen. You know, it was his birthday. We were doing a huge thing for NAMI, and he had done all this work for months, and the whole CHILLI community DM me $5 per pick. But the whole community had come together, and donations from all across the world had come in for this NAMI prize. And I wanted to finish this Nemesis for not only the charity, but for Heathen and everybody else who had donated. And I gave it my go. And the Nemesis, I can only get halfway, and it wants to come back up. I don't know what it is, but that's one of those times where I pushed and pushed and pushed, and I really wanted to do something for him and the whole community. And it's just unfortunate. My body's like, no, no.
Stop, no, and don't.
Yeah, exactly.
So we were just saying before that you're a bit of a Nickelback closet fan, but you're a Chicago's Bulls fan as well, mate. Can you tell us in your point of view, your perspective, what do you think about Scottie Pippen? Do you think Scottie Pippen was a bit underrated?
Scottie Pippen was definitely underrated. Because everybody wanted to focus on Michael Jordan back in the 92, 93, 94, and 96 era. Okay, they wanted to focus on Michael Jordan, but they didn't realize without Scottie Pippen and the Dennis Rodman, there was no Michael Jordan. And Scottie Pippen's actually, he's from about an hour and a half from me right now. He's from Conway, Arkansas, and he's one of the most brilliant offensive and defensive players in the league. So yeah, I definitely think he was underrated in his time. And there was lots of stuff with his contract negotiations and things when he was with the Chicago Bulls he was done unfair. He really was. You know, everybody was getting paid. Everybody was getting paid more, but he was there giving 110% just like everybody else.
Scotty did okay after Mike went to play baseball. But yeah, that's right. And like, Giovanni said Scotty did okay when Mike went to play baseball. Pippen was the man.
That's true.
He did better when Mike came back. But no, it's funny you say that. Like you watched the special. I think it was The Last Dance, and it just showed that it wasn't Michael Jordan that made the team. Yeah, he was the captain and he was an amazing scorer. But each and every single character, even that European guy, made that team. You know, and like you were saying before, Rodman, he was just this vicious defensive player, and he was just made for that role. He really was. He was just an amazing defensive player. And so, yeah, Michael Jordan was the points man, but if it wasn't for the other guys, he wouldn't have been the points man. He wouldn't have scored that many points. He wouldn't have got the career points.
Yeah, if you remember back, if you remember back, Phil, Dennis Rodman came from that evil Pistons team back in the day, and he was traded over to Chicago. So the only thing he knew was to get that dead gum ball no matter what he had to do. And why Pippen was hurt, Rodman stepped up and took Pippen's spot and was helping Jordan out. And it takes every person on every team to make a championship team.
That's right. There's no I in team, hasn't it? Yeah. All right, mate. Well, let's jump into the next one. So the next source I've got here is Aussie Gold. This one's made by CHILLI, the Tracy Chili Obsession. This is a sauce with tincture in it, and I'm not hugely into flavors where there's got tinctures in it because you don't think tink and think good flavor usually, you know. But this sauce is an amazing blend with tincture in it, and it actually tastes great as well, which is quite surprising. What do you got there, mate?
I'm gonna go with David LaChosa's Carolina Madness.
Nice.
And
nice.
David LaChosa is a great sauce maker.
All right. So the next question I want to ask you, mate, is look, growing to make your own brand. Like, how did it happen? Like, tell us about your Alpha and Omega, and what's the focus on your brand? Is it heat or flavors? And tell us a bit more about your Kratos cinnamon tink that's coming out in April as well. So cheers, mate.
Such phenomenal talent in the community. Just brilliant sauce maker. Alpha and Omega came up. Of course, we all know that Alpha and Omega is beginning and the end. And I'm a very, very big Christian. My wife and I, my family, attend church every Sunday. And I wanted to kind of brand something along those lines too, to kind of give note to, my Lord. So that's when we came up with the Alpha and Omega branding. Now, where I try to stand out, or me and my wife try to stand out on our brand, is we try to go against the grain and come up with things that aren't widely done. So I started off doing with the tomato-based sauces and stuff like that, and that was okay. To learn how to sauce make, the tomato-based sauces are easy, and we just kind of played with flavors and stuff. Then I got into something. I wanted to make a orange creamsicle. You remember the creamsicles from when we were kids back in the 80s and stuff like
Vaguely,
that?
Yeah.
There was a creamsicle pop, and it had the vanilla ice cream in the middle. I wanted to make a hot sauce that tasted like that. And so that's when we got into the dessert sauces and made creamsicle dreaming. And it tastes just like a creamsicle popsicle. Really good.
Nice. That's legit.
So,
and wow. And so look, tell us a bit about your the Kratos cinnamon tink that's coming up in April. This is new creation in April popping up. Tell us more about that one.
Well, one more time. Were you asking about Kratos?
Yeah.
All right. Kratos is actually a tincture, a cinnamon tincture. And I used 8 ounces of powder in the tincture. And I used cinnamon sticks and powdered cinnamon. And I let it soak for 2 months. And I've finished it with honey. So it's going to be a sweet cinnamon tincture. And I sampled some the other day, guys, and it's a scorcher. I have it actually. This is the finished product, and that's how dark it was. And I'm going to show you. That's how much powder. There's a little bit still resting on top. But it was 7 ounces of powder, so almost a half a pound of powder. And so I should have that. I should have that bottled up and released in April. But it's definitely a scorcher for sure.
Mate,
do y'all have lots of tincture? Do you have lots of tincture makers over there, Phil?
Yeah, we've got quite a few actually. Yeah. We've got heaps of tincture makers here, but I'm sure there's always room for more. But yeah, what's the name? Tracy Chilli, she does some amazing tinks as well. There's heaps of guys that do tinks here, and we've even got guys that are playing with alcohol combinations and concoctions as well, with chili alcohols as well. So there's quite a few different amazing flavors out there. Yeah, Book Burns as well. There's a lot of guys playing with tinctures, so don't you worry about that. There's plenty of those here in Australia.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So I got to say, I do love the name Kratos. The God Killer from God of War. What a great name.
God of War.
Awesome. I love that.
See, the reason we just Yeah, the reason that we went with that is since we are Alpha and Omega, and it does have a Greek heritage. Okay, we decided from now on with all our tinctures, they're going to be giving a different Greek name. The next one we put out is going to be a sour apple, and it's going to be called Medusa.
You know what you could do with the Justice League that just come out with the Dark Side. His symbol is the Omega symbol, right? Maybe you could do a you could do a Dark Side source because his whole thing's about the anti-life equation, but on his chest is the Omega symbol. You could put him on your bottle, mate.
There you go.
There you go, mate. There you go. Heard it from Chili Philly. Just 10%, please. No. All right, mate. Well, this next one I got here is Freya's Fire from Viking Chili. These guys are legends here in New South Wales as well. This one is. Have you tried the Last Dab? You ever tried the Last Dab? Like
a little bit of lag there, Phil.
You ever tried the sauce of the Last Dab? No, Last Dab from Hot Ones, the sauce.
Oh, Last Dab from Hot Ones? No, I haven't tried that one.
Okay, this one's like a medium version of that sauce. It's not. I'm not saying they copied it, but it tastes. It's got similarities to it. It's got that really nice lime and lemon kind of citrusy vibe to it, but it's sort of medium heat as well. Quite a great flavor. What's the one you got there, mate?
I'm going to go with Sean Overthrow's Henry Hot Sauce, and I'm going to go with this Candy Naga Jalopio Peanuts.
Yum. All right. Well, look, while you're putting that on your spoon, I want to ask you, what's the worst chili moment you've had, and versus the proudest chili moment you have? Because everyone seems to have their worst, and everyone has their proudest. So talk us through those ones. So we'll eat these ones first, and then you tell us about that.
I'm going to need you to repeat the question, though.
Right, all good. So worst chili moment. Worst chili moment versus your proudest chili moment.
The worst chili moment, the proudest.
Yeah.
Worst chili moment was the League of Fire V1 Chug. I was trying to get into the League of Fire. They had just released the Chug. I was going for 2 bottles, and I got almost all the way done with the second one's afterburn, and I completely lost it. And I was live on my first League of Fire challenge, and I booted on camera for the whole world to see.
I just want to bring up a point of that, Legends. I've got a few challenges I'm just editing right now from the Canberra one. We had some chili challenges we filmed. As a point of reference, guys, when you watch the chili challenge, there was the charity one with the pink snake competitor. Just a warning, there's a lot of spewing in that one. It was a very yeah. I will try and edit my best, but I'm just warning you now, guys. Yeah, he involuntarily just booted and booted and booted. Not the pink guy, the other guy, and I felt sorry, but I had to keep filming. The show must go on.
Man, yeah. But I was bent over the trash can, and I just told the wife, I was like, all right, cut it. They've seen enough. The murder scene is over.
Mercy.
Yeah, mercy. I called it. Now, of course, I got credit for 1.5 bottles, which was awesome, and I got into the League of Fire, and that was about a year and 3 months, a year and 4 months ago. Wow. The proudest chili moment was I won our state championship in chili eating in 2019. I won the state. Right. Yeah, I went 55 rounds, and the final table with me and another guy, and we went reaper to reaper until one of us called us quits, and he, thank the good Lord above, finally threw up, and he booted everywhere in his bucket.
You need to say that again. You say 55 rounds.
55 rounds. We started. They started the competition with a jalapeno, and then they went gradually up all the way up the scale. and with different nagas and Thai peppers, jalapenos. And they had a couple candy rounds where they had dipped ghost peppers and chocolate, and there was just different rounds of different items they did. And the last 9 rounds was 9 straight reapers, and he finally threw up.
Wow. That's a hell of a burn. Wow. Jesus.
That was my proudest moment, because I'll be honest with you, Phil, if he didn't spew, I was about to.
Yeah, so he beat you to the punch.
Yeah, he beat me to the punch, and I was very thankful for it. And then they handed me my prize, and it was $100, and of course several different gift baskets. And I was really proud. And they took my picture, and they put me on the news and in the newspaper and stuff like that. And that was a fun time. And then I was going to go last year, but COVID, of course, destroyed all our hopes and dreams of chili competitions, and we haven't had one since.
That's right. Well, that's actually why I've designed what I've designed at the moment. I'm making trying to make a COVID-friendly chili competition where we're going to film it live from everyone's location. We're going to have so Australia's got 8 different states and territories, and we're going to have the Australian Chili Championships, right? And one person from each state and territory is going to represent that state, and they're all going to be chili beasts. And the one who wins that competition will be the Australian Chili Champion, right? And so
nice.
Yeah, so we're running that one, and that's going to be 30 rounds of brutality. So 15 rounds of pods and 15 rounds of products. So 30 rounds of KO.
Wow.
Yeah. So if we have a chili beast or a chili monster from Australia, we send them over to America or Europe and stuff like that. We want to get someone to give everyone a run for their money. We want them to be a complete chili beast or monster or freak of nature. We want to absolutely throw the gauntlet at everyone and go, well, this person is a freak of nature, good luck against them, So
yeah,
that's
well, 15 rounds. Man, 15 rounds of pods and 15 rounds of chili products. That's definitely gonna be a monster. Whoever takes that down, for sure.
That's right. So I'm looking forward to that. That's in July. But 55 rounds, mate. That's phenomenal. Like, I've never heard of anything like that. So congrats to you for that. That's just wow. All right. So this next one here I got is Dr. Paul's hot sauce, Ruby's Reaper. This is from WA as well, Perth. What's the one you got there, buddy?
I'm gonna go with as we all know, Johnny Hexberg. I'm gonna go with this OCD. I'm a fan favorite of this sauce. You can see I've only got a little bit left. This goes great on meats. Absolutely great. Goes great on meats.
Awesome.
And it's very hot.
That's Johnny Hexberg's is from South America, isn't it? Oh, sorry, South Africa?
Yeah.
South America.
No, he's from South Africa.
South Africa. That's right. Yeah. Awesome, buddy. All right, look, the next question I want to ask you, mate, is look, you sort of lightly explained a bit of how to be part of the S.O.F. Sons of Fire. Tell us, can you elaborate a bit more for us on how to become a Sons of Fire member and what's the process behind it? Let's elaborate a bit more on that, mate. Right. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Such a great.
That one's a bit warmer.
All right, so
warmer.
Yeah, mine was quite a bit warmer too. So Sons of Fire, and what I told you earlier, Phil, is when we first opened up the Sons of Fire, we allowed everybody in the community just to come in and boom, boom, boom. And so we decided that wasn't working because we were getting a lot of people that were just wanting to join for the shirt or just because they thought it was the cool thing to do or whatever it may have been. So what we've done now is we've shut the doors, and now we look for members. People that are going above and beyond in the community, people that are making waves, and people that want to help different charities, and people are always uplifting and supporting each other. And that's what we're looking for now, is people like that. And then the members that have been with us since the beginning, we're looking at them, and trying to promote from within to patch members. And that's really our focus right now. If we have a kind of a saying, like, the sons will come to you. is kind of what we deal. But if anybody has an interest, we always want to hear if somebody thinks that they want to be a part of Sons. We always want to hear from them. And then we have a process. We have a recruitment team that's going to send out a questionnaire, and you fill that out, and they kind of talk with you a bit and this and that, and they bring those people to me, and then I give the final yay or nays on those, which I think is a good process. What do you think, Phil?
I definitely agree with it, matey. Like, it's good to see that it's an incentive-based kind of thing. It's not just sort of rewarding people and they just go, oh, here's some money, give me the thing. It seems much more exclusive, and at the same time, it seems like it's a good way to uplift the community. It gives them an incentive to want to actually contribute. Yeah.
Yeah, and see, and like I was telling you earlier, Phil, when this concept of Sons of Fire came around, we knew what we wanted to do, but it was getting the people in place to do it. And that's where we're at now. We've got people in place, and we've got so many members that care about the club and the community that it's almost like it's running itself, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's exactly what you want to, isn't it? Makes your life easier, doesn't it?
So sometimes it's very, very busy, and like I told you earlier, just to reiterate the fact, the Pepper community is my passion. Talking to people like you and talking to other people in the community, that's my passion. The inboxes with a question on a tincture or a sauce, or maybe they have a question that I can't answer, and I'll go to somebody else and try to get them the answer, or I can direct them to somebody, just helping people. And that's what being a son is supporting each other and supporting the community where it needs to be supported.
In Australia, we've got this ABC program, or Triple J, and it's called Ask Dr. Carl. It sounds like you're one of those kind of characters where you're like, ask Farmer J kind of thing.
I missed that last part, Phil.
Oh, we've got a program in Australia where you can ask this guy called Dr. Carl, and he answers all your science questions. But it sounds like you're asking Dr. Farmer J to answer all their chili questions.
Yeah, and I love helping people, and that's what it's all about. And if I don't know the answer, I've made enough friends in the community that if I don't know the answer, you know what, we're going to find you the answer. Because if I don't know, then I want to know, and it's going to bug me until I do find the answer.
That's good. That's good. It's a good way to think. It leaves you curious as well, because then you keep learning,
definitely
updating your knowledge. Yeah. All right. Awesome, mate. Well, the next one I've got here, we're going to go to the next source. I've got this exclusive one here. This is 13 Angry Scorpions Jekyll and Hyde, but it's their private reserve edition, right? They've infused this one with 101 Wild Turkey whiskey, right? So it's hotter than the original and tastier with a whiskey flavor. It's so legit, and I've replaced the original one with this one now, and it's now it's hotter and tastier. So wow, it's just legit. It comes out like a syrup. So good.
How much of the whiskey or bourbon can you taste in that sauce?
It's not subtle, but at the same time, it's not pronounced. It's sort of just above subtle. But like when you got what's it called, smoked red jalapenos and aged Carolina Reaper in there, it's an interesting combination because both those flavors are really strong. But somehow they put the right amount of combination where they play off each other instead of just sort of dominating each other, if that makes sense. So
nice. Yeah.
So the whiskey isn't subtle. It's just strong enough to be pronounced, but not so pronounced that it overpowers the rest of the sauce. So it's actually pretty good. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So what do you got there?
I'm going to go with Jim Munhall's Cluckin' Hot. This is actually a buffalo wing sauce. And this stuff is spicy, guys. And actually, right now, the Sons of Fire is trying to put together a wing eating contest using this sauce. So we're trying to get people that are interested in that and get that going.
Well, actually, we'll delve into that now. So the question I want to ask you this time is about your cap gun challenges and all the other challenges that you got going on in the Sons of Fire. You've got a few pumping out and cranking out. let's start talking about those. And I want you to elaborate on what those are. So let's eat these ones, and then we'll talk about that. Cheers.
All right. Cheers. So you want to talk about cap gun, Phil?
Yep.
All right. So this is cap gun, and this is made by Sean Overthrow, and this started out as a community challenge. And one night, me and my buddy Ethan were talking. We were looking for a way to stimulate the community and kind of get things going and people more active, because the season was coming to an end, and we wanted the group Chasing Capsaicin to stay active. So we bounced ideas off each other, and finally came up with what was called a cap gun. And you put the powder, hot pepper powder, on your hand with a little bit of tincture, and then you could use any liquid you wanted to and put a rabbia tincture in it. You lick the powder, burn for a second, then took the shot, and that was a cap gun. You know, something fun and silly just to keep the community active. Well, we progressively made it harder, and there was a version 1, a version 2, a version 3. And by the time we were done, we were just shooting straight hot sauces with Robbie's a tincture and powders and doing all sorts of stuff. You know, Jeff the fireman drank a whole bottle of the bomb. I just thinking about it. Anyways, he drank a whole bottle of the bomb doing a cap gun one day, and it just got nonsense. So Dave Doran come to me and Sean Overthrow, and they're like, what if we take cap gun and put it into a actual challenge, and then talk to the League of Fire about getting it taken care of and making it an LOF challenge? And I was just mind blown. Like, is this happening really right now? And so it was really cool. So Sean Overthrow come up with this, and this is the cap gun, and it's got my face on it, and there's Ethan Rivera, the other guy that helped me come up with it. And this is so important to me, and I'll tell you why. It's not Ethan and I. It's not Sean and Dave. This was a community thing. And all the people that were doing cap guns all the time, you know, the first week we launched cap gun, there was over 54 live videos just the first week. You couldn't get a spot in that Facebook group to go live. And people were just loving it and shooting these things. And it brought the whole community just a little bit closer. So this is not just any other challenge to me. This is like a brainchild that came to life, and it's for the chili community. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. And so I see that you've been working on a few other challenges, mate. What's these other challenges you've got under your belt as well?
The other challenges, and we talked about it earlier, the Rummy Bears, and then Dave Doran thought it'd be really cool to come out with an entry level challenge called the Psycho Bear. And this is a one gummy bear, and you just eat the gummy bear, and it's supposed to be an entry level challenge. This is not entry level challenge. He missed the mark on that. This son of a gun is hot. Anybody who's eaten this thing, it's hot. It's not entry level. This is no Pocky one chip. This is no White Lightning. This son of a gun's hot. And I ate it, and I didn't get bad cat cramps. I just, just a little bit. And I texted him the next day, and I was like, that thing was hotter than you needed to. Giovanni says it's only 3 million. Yeah,
it's only 3 million. That's okay.
It's only 3 million. How about this? I could sit these side by side, and besides the flavoring, there's not much difference to me. They're both hot.
It's just chewy as always. That's Giovanni says.
It's just chewy and stupid hot. And I love the way they taste. I love the Reapers. Excuse me. I love the Psycho Bear. I love the way they taste. And some people say it's disgusting, but I like them. But yeah, it's definitely not entry level challenge. That one sucked.
And so are these all the challenges you got so far, or are you working on a few more? Is there a few more coming out in the woodworks?
Not really anything else in the woodworks right now. We've got Cap Gun that just released. Just some couple of, wing challenge that Dave wants to put together. That's going to be a son's deal. But as far as everything else, this has just come out. I don't even think it's on the block good. And So we're just coming off this, and there was a couple things we had to get straightened out with it. So yeah, busy.
So tell us, what's the difference between like the homemade cap guns and the L.O.F one? What's the difference between that one and what you started with?
Okay. All right. So inside this, you have a silver container, and Sean has got a mixture of chili peppers, cumin, black pepper. There's all sorts of different stuff. What he wanted to do was get all around mouth burn of all these different spices and just attack you everywhere. Okay, not only the sinuses or the throat or whatever. He wanted just to slam you all up in here. And where the other cap guns, we were taking just like a hot pepper powder of like maybe Naga or Carolina Reaper, Scorpion, etc., etc. Also in there is not tincture, because tincture, of course, is alcohol based, so that would not work going across country lines and stuff like that. So that's a syrup in there and not a tincture. And then Sean has formulated a sauce, a mixed berry sauce that's 35% chilies, and that's what you're shooting instead of just a regular liquid.
Wow. So it sounds like, I don't know if you've seen that movie Undisputed, where the Russian boxer goes, "I am the most complete boxer," and it's just like, "I am the most complete burn."
Yeah.
It sounds like the goal for that.
Exactly. And Sean's attacked it and completely just gonna slam everybody.
Awesome. And so you've tried this new challenge. You've tried it yourself. You tested it out.
I have not done this new challenge. I got my shipment in earlier this week, and the other creator, Ethan Rivera, and I, and Jason Harrell and his wife Carissa wanted to help launch it, because I pay a lot of homage to Jason and Carissa, because when they first got into the community, it was the time we were releasing Cap Gun, and they just jumped in both feet in. And if it wasn't, like I told you before, Phil, if it wasn't for everybody in Chasing Capsaicin and to really push this thing, it wouldn't be here. And I can't tell you how many times Jason and Carissa did Cap Guns. So I've asked Sean, I was like, I want Jason and Carissa, Ethan and myself all to help launch this product over at Suns. And he's like, yeah, definitely. And I wanted to bring Jiff in, and I wanted to get Sean to come do his own challenge. So I haven't done it yet. We're hoping to get something worked out where we can do a launch.
Awesome. That sounds good, mate. All right, buddy. Well, let's go to the next one here. This next sauce I got is from Cobra Chili. They're near the Gold Coast. This one's called Fever, and their slogan is "Face the Fury." So this one's about
nice.
This one's about 1.6 million Scoville. So I get a bit warmer. What do you got there, mate?
I'm gonna go with Stephen Hood's Naturally North Farms, and this is gonna be his Screaming Beaver, as you liked the name of earlier.
Love it. So, look, the question I want to ask you is, with there's something that comes with wearing leather vests. I know if I go walking around in this, people are going to look at me a certain way. And you being a large man yourself as well, wearing a big black leather vest with some patches and stuff like that. Have you guys ever been confused as bikies? It's like a bikie gang by people or cops, because like if you walk around with colors like that, you could get into a little trouble. So tell us a bit about that and what's the story with that. And we'll eat this one first. Ready? We'll eat this guy first. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh man, brilliant sauce. I like that Screaming Beaver. Brilliant sauce. So here's the deal. We looked up when the vest first came out. We looked up at the biker gang rules per se, and we looked at what we needed to do and what we didn't need to do. Okay, as far as certain patches, there's certain way things are supposed to be done. Okay, we also went to some of the major MCs and got a blessing. Okay, so to do what we need to do, where you run into Where you run into issues is people lower on the ladder that want to push things when they want to get hard. I have personally never run into that. But also, anytime that you put on a vest or any kind of colors, may it be a Chicago Bulls hat or a Lakers jersey or whatever in the wrong neighborhood or something along those lines, you can expect the possibility to arise. So all we basically do is wear it responsibly, do it in our own homes, on video, chatting with Phil North, go ahead, chili competition, stuff like that, stuff like that. And, you know, anytime you wear anything that you could think that might cause you some attention, you know, just be responsible with it and you won't have any issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
too much TV. Movies watched. Yeah.
So
I think why I bring it up is we've got a lot of full-on bikies here in Australia too, and it got pretty full-on to the point where the police changed the flag. They changed these laws that were around, I think, since 1888. It was a law where if 3 people were standing anywhere in Australia, that you could be charged under conspiracy. And that was because there was an outlaw called Ned Kelly back around then. And he was sort of like an Aussie Robin Hood who kept stealing from the rich and giving to the poor kind of thing as well. You got the shits with the cops and how biased they were and how the banks were and like that. And so he was sort of like our Robin Hood, but he wore like a big metal thing with a hole there and big metal vest. And so when they shot him, he sort of didn't die. But they amended the law where you can be charged in conspiracy by standing around and loitering as 3 people or more to bikie gangs. And if you're riding a motorbike where there's 3 or more people, then you could be charged under the Vlad laws, which was the conspiracy law amended. And it was weird. They just got on a massive crackdown in Australia with it. So it was just sort of interesting, seeing the whole vesting. I don't know what it's like with obviously in America there, but yeah, our laws have changed significantly because a lot of bikies were involved with obviously criminal activity, but mainly the drug component was what pushed the cops really hard on that kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, I've worn mine out with my wife, and we've gone to dinner, and I've worn mine, and I never had any issues. I've gotten nothing but compliments on it. We live in a college town, so the college kids really dig them.
Kids not heavy, sir.
yeah, and like you said, Phil, I'm a big dude. I'm 6 foot, 300 pounds plus. I don't have people mess with me a lot, and I've gotten nothing but compliments on it, and they love the way it's set up, and you know, they love the fact that it's a chili club. So no, I don't run any issues. I just say to people that, you know, be responsible, use your head. You know, if you know that you're in downtown Detroit, there's going to be Hell's Angels, and you go down Martin Luther King Boulevard and there's Hell Angels everywhere, and you're like, hey, you know what? I think it's time to wear my cut down that road. Yeah, you're a fool, man. You know, I mean, so just be responsible with it, and you know, strut around the house in your underwear or something. You know.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. All right, buddy. Well, let's go on this next one. This cheeky one here is called COVID-19 from Uncle Mungo's in Melbourne. It's rated 19 out of 10.
Uncle Mungo's.
And if you look at that, you look at the Reaper there. He's wearing a cheeky little COVID mask as well.
Nice. I'm gonna go with the hot sauce smoking sriracha from Puckerbutt.
Puckerbutt, nice. So while you're loading that one on, mate, the question I want to ask you is, you got your fingers in a lot of pies, like you were saying before, warm apple pie. But what advice would you give to people to try and do what you're doing, and like become a farmer, become a sauce maker, be the VP of this kind of stuff, and just getting out there and doing the things that you do? And then tell us, how do you balance all that? Like, how do you balance your work and your family and your chili life? And yeah, tell us about that one. So cheers, buddy. We'll go through this one and then
cheers. To be perfectly honest, Phil, there is no balance. It's all right. So Sunday is my family time. That's my family time. I'll do small little chili things on Sunday, but that's my family time. Even anybody that is close to me or knows me, they respect me enough. They know I'll get up and check my messages on Sunday morning, and that's it. They don't message me the rest of the day, and I appreciate them for that. Lots of list, lots of organization, chart everything. If you're making in the kitchen, making a sauce, and you're just dumping different ingredients in, make a list. If you get a message, somebody wanting some pepper seeds or to learn how to, plant or how deep they should plant, write their name down, and say, get back to so-and-so for so-and-so. It's all about being organized. And I'm not a very organized person, but my wife keeps me straight very well. Yeah, she keeps me straight. She's the queen of list making. So I've got a few things going on. I got a tincture competition going on.
I'd be worried. I'd be worried if you watch the reason that you're straight.
Do what? What's the reason? What?
You said your wife keeps you straight. I'm like, I'd be worried if you watch the reason that she keeps you straight. Like, what? Yeah, he's like, no comment. Fair enough.
I've learned, Phil, you got to just keep your mouth shut when it's supposed to be shut, but even she charts my garden plots, and she's just if you're going to get into it big, share the life with somebody that has just as much compassion for you or what you're doing, because without somebody backing you and fully supporting you, it's not going to work. It's going to cause arguments. So either they love you or love what you're doing, and my wife does that. So a support system.
Good on you, mate. Well, that seems like that works. So that obviously that's it. And I think that's pretty much the best advice you really give everyone is just find a good support network. I think is the go. Yeah. What do you mate? All right.
Yep.
Well, 2 to go. So I got this next one here, mate. This one's called "Where's the Dunny" by Australian Extreme Chili Condiments, mate. This one's by Rob Dunn. This guy's a bit of a legend in the Australian chili community as well. And just everyone seems to love this guy. He's an absolute legend out there. So what do you got there, mate? What's your sauce you got?
This is going to be another Stephen Hood sauce. This is going to be his bonfire sauce. And if you remember me telling you about the other sauce that I had gone through really, really fast, this is it. As you see, there's just a little bit left, and a brilliant sauce. But y'all can hit up naturallynorthfarms@gmail.com and get any of his stuff.
Nice. All right, mate. Well, look, the question I want to ask you this time, I noticed there you got your St. Jude's fundraiser with those silver chili necklaces, mate. I want you to tell us a bit more about that one, because that's such an intriguing thing. You've got a good idea. It's got a good reason to fundraise and a good place to put the money in. And then you've got these incentive for these silver chili necklaces. So tell everyone a bit more about that one. So cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Oh, man. So St. Jude's is a research hospital for children with cancer. And that's the reason they're my favorite charity, because that's our future. And the parents going through all this, they're having to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars for this cancer stuff and these medicines and stuff like that. And they also help pay for their fuel to get to treatments and so forth and so on. All my Pepper Life t-shirts, all the Alpha Omega t-shirts, I don't make a single dime off of any of that. When you buy a Pepper Life shirt or Alpha Omega shirt, and we also have some more shirts that we do that with, all the proceeds go to St. Jude's, all of them. I don't ever see a penny. Ethan Rivera, he controls all that stuff for me. I never touch a drop because I don't want there to be any questions. So the money comes in for the shirts, it goes straight to St. Jude's. So the chili pepper necklaces that what we're doing next is just a little chili pendant on a silver chain. And if you make a donation to St. Jude's in any amount, we're going to send you a necklace. And we're going to do 40 of those. So it's going to be 40 necklaces are going to go out in 40 spots.
So the first 40 or just random 40 people?
No, first 40. First 40 people donate. You can donate $2. You can donate $200. It doesn't matter. It's not my business. You give what you can give. If it's $2, then I'll send you a necklace, and that's completely shipped to you. And I don't care if you're in Australia, and I don't care if you're in Canada or right up the road. I'll cover all the shipping costs. It will cost you nothing.
That's so awesome. What a mad fundraiser. Like, I love that you're helping this charity out out of goodness of your heart. And you're not making any money of it. It's all going to them. It's what a great cause. It's just everything about it. It just screams awesome. Yeah.
So I'm trying to get through. I've got a couple other things in the works that I'm trying to get through over the next week. I've got another sauce I've got to put out, and I've got pre-orders for it that I've got to get out. And so I expect to launch the St. Jude's Chili necklace fundraiser, I would say, in the next 2 weeks.
Oh, James Jackson, Jared L.Smith, please hit me up. There you go. All right.
Yep.
You're clucking late, mate. It's just shit, mate. All right, mate. Whoa. Last one. Last sauce. This is the hottest one I've got. This is Scorpion Strike on Steroids by the Chili Factory. It's rated 2.25 million Scoville. It's bloody hot stuff. It's just ridiculous hot.
All right.
Anyone knows it. It's a really arrogant sauce. It's bloody hot as. And it gives anyone a run for their money. Bloody oath. So this next segment, mate, this is called Fuzzy Facts, right? So what we're doing here is I'm going to ask you 10 facts about Australia, and you've got to try and answer them true or false, right? So show us the source you got there. What's the source you got?
Well, I'm going to actually switch gears on you. I'm going to go with the guy who just said, hey, Jared, hit me up. I'm going to go with his. This is James Jackson's Capsaicin Candies. And I saved it for last because it is a candy, so I'm going to put it in my mouth and go ahead and finish the interview with it. So I'm going to go with, he's got a.
All right.
This is a Blueberry Carolina Reaper candy.
So this is going to tickle. Fair enough. So, matey, look, got my fuzzy friend here. He's going to give me my facts. Give it. All right. Sorry, that was Terry. That's Terry, the Tasmanian tiger, and Tasmanian devil. And he just gave me the facts there. So now I've got 10 facts in front of me. So I'm going to eat this. You're going to eat that, and we're both going to burn. And I got to try and ask you questions, and you got to try and answer true or false. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
All right. Ready when you are, buddy?
Yep. Cheers.
All right. 3, 2, 1. All right. So I thought I'd stick with the gang and the biking thing, mate. So the earliest gang in Australia was the Rocks Bush. True or false?
True.
It's actually false. It was the Rocks Push.
Ah, you cheated.
Right. Number 2. These guys, they were dominant in Sydney for nearly 100 years. Was that true or false?
One more time, Phil.
They were dominant in Sydney as a gang for nearly 100 years. True or false?
True.
It's actually true. Yeah, the Sydney Push gang was really dominant for about 100 years. All right, number 3. The Comancheros and Bandidos were allied biking gangs. True or false?
Bandidos. True.
It's actually false, mate. So let's go to the next question. So their first gun battle killed 7 people. True or false?
False.
It's actually true. Yeah.
I'm horrible at this game, Phil.
That's right, mate. That's right. All right. So, look, the retaliation resulted in 13 shootings in 2 weeks. Is that true or false?
True.
That's true, mate. It was brutal. All right. So, number 6. The biggest Chinese gang in Australia was named 5C. Is that true or false?
False.
That's right. It was actually called 5T. And they were known for bringing a lot of crazy drugs in Australia too. Right, number 7. Coppin Cheaters are the largest outlaw motorcycle gang in Australia. True or false?
True.
It's actually false. It's and so they're called the Rebels, right? Now, the Rebels have over 2,000 members and 29 chapters in Australia. Is that true or false?
False.
It's actually true. They're massive gang, massive. Yeah. You're like, oh, wow, what's going on? Right.
Yeah, I'm horrible.
Number 9, Alex Rebler is a former boxer and leader plus founder of the Rebels. Is that true or false?
True.
Those parts were right, true, except Alex Vella is his name, right? Right. Last one. Let's see if we can get this one right. The story of the Kelly Gang is the world's first feature movie. True or false?
True.
It's actually true, mate. It's the first one. There's what's called a film before it, but this was the first feature movie ever in the world. Pretty crazy, yeah. It went for like 5 hours. But look, congratulations, mate. You actually smashed. You got through the fire trial.
That was horrible, Phil.
But
That was horrible. It was like a plane crash, a bad plane crash. We started up here and we're dead to sea now, Phil. I'm dead.
you got 60 seconds to say whatever you want to, mate. You got anything to plug? You want to say anything about Sons of Fire? Let us know, mate. What's the story?
Sons of Fire, I get a lot of questions about this. And a lot of people think that to be in Sons of Fire, you have to be this big chili head who can complete all these challenges and do all these reviews and constantly do stuff. And that's not it at all. There's some people that are in Sons of Fire that can't even eat a habanero. They enjoy the spice life. They enjoy the community and they support each other. But they're not the ones out there eating a challenge every weekend. And I feel like that we're getting kind of stereotyped as, because we do have a lot of big chili names in the Sons of Fire, is we're getting stereotyped as the fact of you have to be a complete legend to even be in the Sons of Fire. And that's not it. It's community. It's a club for people that share, the same love for the community and the world of spice. And I think it gets a little bit misunderstood sometimes.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, mate. I wouldn't mind being in there as well, mate. Have you got any room for Burnin Bites by chance?
You know what? I'm feeling a little froggy right now, Phil, and I want to go ahead. And I'm going to extend a full junior membership to you right now, completely free of charge. You are now Sons of Fire. I want you to get with Dave and get your shirt sorted. And I want to be the first one to welcome you into the Sons of Fire. And everybody out in the community right now, I want you to give Phil a round of applause. He's a brilliant guy, does great things in the community, and we would be privileged to have you.
Oh, legend. I graciously accept. We are not worthy.
Awesome. Awesome. And
I love it, mate. Love it.
So Phil, welcome to the Sons of Fire. We really, really are proud to have you.
Oh, thanks, legend. I'm absolutely honored. You guys seem like you're doing amazing things in the community, shaking it up. And I just hope I can contribute as much as I can, because it just seems like an amazing thing to be part of, and I can't wait to see what I can do and be part of as well.
Yeah, and you have lots of Aussie friends down there that are sons, and maybe y'all can get closer together and do chili comps and do your Mr. Chili deal together, and just really, really just spread the love.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, speaking of Mr. Chili, the reason why I'm wearing this is to remind myself that we are judging all the categories right now, Spice Legends. If you've given us your category, your sources, or your true products, all the Mr. Chili judges right now are either filming or are judging the products. So don't worry, you've not been forgotten. They're being judged right now, and we're doing our judging comp and our judging very soon with Burnin Bites as well. We're going to be filming it too, so you see that content coming out soon as well, Spice Legends. So thank you guys for sending that one as well, and thank you very much so much for having us, mate, and coming on our show, mate. I absolutely love that you've put aside some time, and we've figured out a crazy time zone to work for both of us.
Yeah, I've got 2 more shameless plugs, if you don't mind. I want everybody
plug away.
Yeah, this is the one from the Old Agnes store, Stephen and Michelle Brillant. They are wonderful, wonderful people. They've also got the Crunchy Challenge, and we've already discussed the Moab collab. So, guys, they're a family company. It's just them two and the Brownie Boy Brillant and Michelle. They're just such wonderful people. If anybody knows of them in the community, they're just as giving. They'll give the shirt off their back just to even make you smile. And wonderful people. So if you can support their products, their brownies or any of their challenge products, please do. Also, of course, Cap Gun, guys. Cap Gun. This is on the block. You can get it from Heiko up in Canada. Steve and Michelle Berlin will have it on the website. I have some as well. So hit one of us up and we'll get you fixed up.
Awesome. No worries, legend. So thank you so much for jumping on, matey. We'll catch you soon. I'll have a chat with you soon as well. And obviously, like you said, with Dustin Johnson coming on very soon. Got a few more Spice Legends coming on soon. It's going to be an absolutely legendary next month of crazy reviews. We've got challenges coming out. I've got reviews and, like I said, heaps of interviews as well. So thanks again for coming on, mate. And thank you so much for letting me be part of Sons of Fire, mate.
Oh, man, I'm honored to have somebody that's going to fully support Sons and fully support the community like you do. And I'm just excited to have you.
No worries, legend. All right. We'll talk to you soon, buddy. I'll catch you later, eh? See you, legend. Woo! All right, Spice Legends, thank you so much for joining us. This crazy adventure, this crazy interview that we had from Jared F.J. Smith or Farmer J or all the other AKAs. We love that you joined in for the whole full 1 hour and 40 minutes. What a crazy ride. Again, thank you so much. So we'll have to say now for now, Spice Legends, is keep calm.